In the history of Nobel Prizes, 4 persons have received the Nobel Prize twice. There is only one woman among them. She is also the first woman in history to receive the Nobel Prize and the first person to win a Nobel Prize twice. She is also the only person who has received 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different disciplines of science, namely physics and chemistry. Her husband was a co-winner of her first Nobel Prize, making them the first ever married couple to win the Nobel Prize together. Her name was Maria Salomea Skłodowska, but the world knows her by the famous name Madame Marie-Curie. Marie-Curie was a Polish and naturalized French physicist and chemist who conducted pioneering research on radioactivity. She was born on 7 November 1867 in Warsaw, in what was then the Kingdom of Poland, part of the Russian Empire. She studied at Warsaw's clandestine flying university and began her practical scientific training in Warsaw. In 1891, aged 24, she followed her elder sister Bronisława to study in Paris. In Paris, she subsisted on her meager resources, keeping herself warm during the cold winters by wearing all the clothes she had. She focused so hard on her studies that she sometimes forgot to eat. Marie Curie studied during the day and gave tuition in the evenings, barely earning enough to keep up. In 1893, she was awarded a degree in physics and began work in an industrial laboratory. Meanwhile, she continued studying at the University of Paris, and with the aid of a fellowship, she was able to earn a second degree in 1894. Marie began her scientific career in Paris with an investigation of the magnetic properties of various steels, commissioned by the Society for the Encouragement of National Industry. There she met her future husband, Pierre Curie, who was a pioneer in crystallography, magnetism, piezoelectricity, and radioactivity. Both married in 1895. Marie Curie, her husband Pierre Curie, and the physicist Henri Becquerel were awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics for their pioneering work in developing the theory of radioactivity, a term she coined. What few know is that Marie Curie was about to not receive the first of the awards. In 1903, the French Academy of Sciences, showing bias towards foreign-origin women, proposed only Henri Becquerel and Pierre Curie as candidates for the Nobel Prize in Physics. Outraged to learn of the nomination, the mathematician Gozhda Leffler warned Pierre about this open discrimination. Pierre Curie was furious, and he wrote to the nomination committee, "If it is true that someone is thinking of me for the Nobel Prize, I would like to be considered along with Madame Curie for our work in radioactive bodies, as her part is very large in this discovery." After pulling some strings and applying pressure from scientific institutions, Marie's name was finally added to the candidacy. And by this way, in December 1903, the 3 scientists, Becquerel and the Curie couple, were awarded the prestigious award. In the mention of the Curies, their discovery of polonium and radium was voluntarily excluded, since the chemists of the nominating committee insisted that both deserved a future Nobel Prize in chemistry. In 1906, her husband, Pierre Curie, died in a Paris street accident. She never married again and dedicated her whole life to the development of science. Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for her discovery of the elements polonium and radium, using techniques she invented for isolating radioactive isotopes. Although the discovery of polonium and radium was a joint work of wife and husband, but due to the death of her husband in 1906, Marie received the Nobel Prize alone. If her husband had been alive, he would have also received the second Nobel Prize jointly with her wife. This would have made them the first couple to receive 4 Nobel Prizes. Though Marie Curie was a naturalized French citizen, she never lost her sense of Polish identity. She taught her daughters the Polish language and frequently took them to Poland. She named her first discovered chemical element polonium after her native country, Poland. In addition to her Nobel Prizes, she received numerous other honors and tributes, including the Davy Medal in 1903, the Matteucci Medal in 1904, the Actonian Prize in 1907, the Elliott Cresson Medal in 1909, the Albert Medal in 1910, the Willard Gibbs Award in 1921, the John Scott Medal in 1921, and the Cameron Prize for Therapeutics of the University of Edinburgh in 1931. These prizes and medals were the highest milestones in the scientific field and were given to her as an acknowledgement of her services and dedication to science. Marie-Curie died on the 4th of July, 1934, at the age of 66, at the Saint-Célimos Sanatorium in Passy, Haute-Savoie, France, due to aplastic anemia, likely from exposure to radiation in the course of her scientific research and radiological work at field hospitals during World War I. In 1995, Marie Curie became the first woman to be entombed on her own merits in the Paris Pantheon, and Poland declared 2011 the year of Marie Curie during the International Year of Chemistry. Her eldest daughter, Irène Joliot-Curie, was born on 12 September 1897. She was a French chemist, physicist, and politician. She married Jean-Frédéric Joliot, a French physicist. Both, husband and wife, were jointly awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1935 for their discovery of induced radioactivity. They were the second ever married couple, after her parents, to win the Nobel Prize. Her mother, Marie Curie, and Irène Joliot herself also form the only mother-daughter pair to have ever won Nobel Prizes in history. Though there are 6 father-son pairs who have won Nobel Prizes so far, Pierre and Irène Curie are the only father-daughter pair to have won Nobel Prizes till now. Thus, the Curie family has the rare distinction of being one family, comprised of 4 members, that has won 5 Nobel Prizes, all in the scientific fields. This also makes the Curie's family have the most Nobel laureates to date. In 124 years Nobel Prize history, no one has broken this record so far, and it does not seem possible that in the foreseeable future anyone can match or surpass this unique record. If Marie Curie's husband had been alive in 1911, then this family would have claimed the 6th Nobel Prize also, which he would have received as a co-winner.